Hi, it's Mark with Alaska Boys. We're back from a moose hunt a few days ago. We've got half of a moose that my parents shared with me to process, and so come along with us today. We're going to be grinding up some meat, cutting up roasts and steaks, and getting things ready to fill the freezer and have food all winter long. So in our family, I think it's been over 10 years we've harvested a moose every year, and that's the primary protein. That's the main meat we eat through roasts, hamburgers, steak, and then all kinds of products that we make at home with summer sausage, bratwurst, and Italian sausage, breakfast sausage, all those kind of things we make. So, but the main ingredient is moose, and we love moose. It's so good. Come along. The whole family is going to help out. You'll see our kids really get in there and help cut, grind, and package all this stuff. They know where our food comes from, and so glad you can come along and see what it's all about. Here's our workstation. We've got cutting boards, getting some knives out. Here's the sausage stuffer. We also stuff the ground meat. Here's a big grinder. I borrowed this from my office.
I'm going out.
This is helper number 1. Thank you, Everett. So when we get home from our hunt, usually we'll hang up our meat to age it and to until we have enough time to process it. It's a little bit warm right now for us. At night, I think it got down to maybe 48, and ideally it would be in the 40s. So we're gonna be processing this meat this evening and starting to get stuff ready. I'll show you what we got. So we hang the meat here in the shed for a couple reasons. One, it's in the shade, it's cool, and also we have bears in the neighborhood and other predators and birds and things, so we want it out of the way. We also, when I brought it home, we have it in game bags. I put it in new game bags, and that keeps the flies off of it, and so it can still breathe and age, but it keeps it clean. So that's what we got. This is a bag of hamburger. That's probably like 45 pounds of hamburger meat. So that's like neck meat, side meat, other cuts. We'll grind those up. This over here is a back leg. This is the whole one of the back legs. We got a front leg, and then another bag over here is a bag full of steak. So loins, tenderloin, flank steak, and all that. So we're gonna grab one of these, and here I'm gonna grab this one, I think. And then we'll take it inside, start cleaning it and processing it. So.
Why I can't do this?
So right now I'm working on the hamburger. What we're doing is hamburger is kind of any loose cut meats that we don't want to make into roasts or steaks. And we take them out, we clean them, we trim. Here's the thing of trimming. I'm getting off excess fat, sinew, and other types of thing. We're cutting it into small chunks, putting it over here, and the kids will grind that in a few minutes when they get ready. So the stuff that often you'll put into hamburger is like the shanks. That would be like your calf, the forearm, and then the neck meat and stuff that's really tough, and lots of mixed muscle type stuff. Works really good for hamburger. For roast, usually you want to have like the back legs are really good for roast. There's kind of big solid muscles there, and they can be more tender. So a lot of times the back legs and parts of the front shoulder we'll do as roasts. For steaks, we'll do the loin, the flank steaks, the tenderloin, all of that turns into steak. And so sometimes you can use parts of the back leg as steak as well. So you can kind of peel out the different muscles, and some of them are quite tender, and you can use those as well.
That is a big chunk of meat.
I don't know what this came from. I think this is like saddle meat, I think. Stuff that would be on like the side of the moose. Like above the ribs or something. I think this may be above the ribs and above the shoulder, like inside not quite on the front shoulders. So there's some different schools of thoughts on whether to age your meat or not, and I won't get into that whole debate, but what we do is all the hamburger meat, we're gonna grind it up anyway, so we don't age that, we'll just grind it. The pot roast as well, they're gonna be cooked so long, they'll get tender, so those we do right away. The steak meat, and the other thing is we don't have enough room in our fridge or a place to age it if it's not cold enough outside, so our steaks will probably stick in the fridge and age. So depending on how cold it is, those roasts that we do on the Traeger or in the oven, we'll keep those out for up to a week. But it really just depends on the temperature because we don't want the meat to spoil. Okay, so this is all a front leg for the moose. There's a little bit of, the bullet went through right here, so you can see a little bit of stuff we'll have to cut out and trim. But otherwise, this is the front shoulder of the moose. So this was the shank, and then
It's so big.
yeah.
We've got the bone right here, and then that would be its front and shoulder. All right.
Okay, so front roast, usually you'll make it into, you'll grind up the tougher pieces into burger. You can take some of it and make canned meat or stew meat, and then also you could use pot roast, and also on a few selected places you could do a regular roast. Well, we've been at this for a couple hours, and the boys are out having a little treat. We got ice cream cones. Mom's still at it, packaging the burger that got ground. We've gotten all the hamburger taken care of. We've got the front leg cleaned up and a lot of it ground up. Here in front of me, we have, these are gonna be kind of like a dry roast, and these are pot roasts. We still have a back leg and some steak to work on tonight. It's 8 o'clock and it's school night, so we gotta see how we do and maybe pick this up tomorrow, maybe power through tonight. We'll just see. All right, it is 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9:06, and still at this. Real life happens. I mean, we started about 3. We had some dinner, and then we had to put the little kids to bed and all that. I still have here with me, this is a back leg, one of the biggest meats here. We're gonna trim it up, make it into roast, some steaks, and other stuff, and keep at this. So we'll probably be done by midnight or so tonight.
All right, well, Mark is working on kind of cleaning that piece of meat up and getting some roasts. I'm gonna work on, we have some roasts over here from the front shoulder, and I'm gonna get these packaged up. We have this roll of waxed paper from Costco, freezer paper. I'm gonna use that to protect the meat. And we're just gonna keep working through, and then once we cut this up, we'll have some more grinding to do.
Okay, so this is a big solid piece of meat here in the back leg, and we'll be cutting this up into, I'm just trimming off any excess skin and sinews and stuff, and then we'll cut it up into roasts that we'll stick on the Traeger. That'll be awesome. Stick these out for like 4 to 6 hours. Cook slow and delicious. Ham bone. Okay, so we took that whole back leg and we're just about done. We have a whole tray of steaks here, This is going to be turned all into steaks here. We've got this last one to do. Here we have 4 roasts. All of this is going to turn into ground meat. So you can see we kind of pieced it apart and took all that stuff. Here's the bone that we could cut that up and do bone broth and all that. We'll see how much energy we have. I may just give it to my friend who has dogs and they love to eat those. So. All right, making progress. It's 10:20 at night now, so hopefully we'll be done by
midnight.
Yeah, then up at 6 for work and all that. So. Okay, the only thing we have left in the refrigerator is a bag of steak, flank steak, loin, and tenderloin. We're gonna leave that for probably 5 more days, or maybe more. Oh, these are awesome. I am cutting up the round of the back leg into big fat steaks. I love these. I love throwing these on the grill and eating these. Super lean. Look at this. There's like no fat. Super lean. And with this moose meat, when you're cooking it, you don't really want to cook it more than medium. Maybe
Unless you're pregnant.
Yeah, unless you're pregnant or something, but otherwise it dries out really fast. You know, if you get it well done, you're not gonna, it just won't be savory. It's tough and there's just no fat in it.
All right, Mark's working on this last big piece of meat. What is this gonna get cut into?
I don't know. I'm tired. Probably roasts. I gotta see how tender it is and maybe steak, but probably roasts.
And then I've got to grind up this. That's what I'm going to do next. And then I just finished packaging all these other roasts. And then we'll put them through here and package them. And then we'll do a big cleanup. Yeah, I think you knew, but maybe forgot because I think we talked about it. Okay.
All right, thanks for coming along on this adventure. As you can see, taking care of a moose is a ton of work, but that's kind of what you sign up for, and you know, that's what we eat all year round. I think it's been 10, 11 years that we've eaten a moose as a family pretty much each year, and I've harvested those ourselves and cut them up and taken care of it. You know, it's almost midnight and we're just getting finished. We got the kitchen cleaned up, we put away all this stuff, and everything's in the freezer. So here, have a look and see what we got in here. So these are all roasts from the moose. In the back there's some ground meat, there's some more roasts. Up here's king salmon. Here's halibut. This is ground moose meat, moose roasts. This is all ground caribou. Here's some steak, moose steak. And then in the door we have tons of raspberry jam and raspberries we picked out of our garden. So totally Alaskan freezer, and that's what we're gonna eat out of for the next 12 months. All right, it's been a week. It's Friday night. Hooray. Got the kids to bed. It's 9:20. And we've let this steak here, and I've got more in the fridge, age for a whole week. We had some last night for dinner. It was amazing. Super tender, really nice. So I'm gonna bag it up now, and so I've got round steak here, and the whole tenderloin will cut up, and in the loin. So back at it. So when we're taking these steaks, I've already cut them up, and we're packing them in here. These are freezer Ziploc bags as tight as we can, and then I'll suck the air out once I'm done. So I'm getting kind of the sizing right on these. Smells good. And this is the way we've done it. and it keeps the meat good for a whole year. So right here we have the tenderloin. So we'll be cleaning this up a little bit and cutting it into steaks. Oh, cuts so tender. So now I'm gonna work on the loin. And the loin takes a bit of work to clean up because you've got a lot of sinews and stuff on the back and other things, but it does taste delicious, so it's always worth the work to do it right. So here's a trimmed up piece of loin, and we're just slicing it into some steaks and packaging it and working through this, trying to get it done so we can go to bed, eat this good stuff all winter long. You can see here, these ones I gotta package up, already packaged all that stuff, and we got a little bit left. This is the flank steak and some other loin I gotta trim up. All right, we are all done with this entire moose that we did. So I got 2 trays of steaks, 2.5 trays of steaks. I'm gonna go stick these in the freezer. We put them on these trays so that they freeze flat and also freeze faster. Then we can stack them in crates and boxes and stuff in the freezer to keep things organized. But thank you so much I hope you learned some stuff and get appreciation for what we do with all of our meat. Thanks again. Make sure to subscribe and check out all of our videos for the Alaska Boys. Thanks and have a great day.